Hello everybody, this is thejonnymar and welcome back to Final Fantasy VI Advance. So in between episodes I've been leveling and I've also been hunting these little cactuars. So I'm in the desert just to the south of Miranda. And in here you're going to fight slag worms, which are kind of like zone eaters, except they don't suck you into their belly. And you're going to fight these cactuars, which have really high evasion but only 3 HP. And they give you a lot of magic AP, a lot of Jill, but no experience. And unique to this version of the game, when you kill off 10 of them, you're going to take on this unique Esper, Gigantuar. Now this guy can be pretty tough. He likes to throw out 1,000 needles or blowfish at you. And he actually has an automatic 10,000 needles, which is basically just blowfish or 1,000 needles 10 straight times once you kill him off. So my strategy, of course, is to cast re-raise on all my characters, because it is really hard to survive that unless you have a ton of HP. So I'm going to make sure I have that status effect on all my guys, and then I will slowly wear him down until we take him out. And he's an okay Esper. Not the greatest, but definitely unique compared to all of the rest that we can get in the game. Now the other great leveling place in this game is called Dinosaur Forest, and that is to the northwest of the Veldt. And it's actually in a forest that's shaped a little bit like a dinosaur's head. And in that forest you're going to take on tyrannosaurs, which are nasty little enemies. And basically they are susceptible to sleep, which is the one saving grace. So you can put them to sleep and just blast them with magic. But they are super strong and they give some of the best experience in the game. Now the disadvantage of using that area to level is you don't get any Jill from those battles. So basically, even though I spent probably a couple hours in there, my funds did not increase at all. So I'm going to have to be somewhat skimping in terms of my different equipment that I'm going to buy for the preparation for the final dungeon. Now all my characters are at level 40. And normally I only level up to about 35 before taking on the final dungeon, but because I'm taking on the extra content in the Dragon's Den, jeez, that did a lot of damage. I decided to do a little bit more leveling now, so I would have to do a little bit less later. Uh-oh. This might kill him, and Shadow already used his re-raise. There's 1, 2, uh-oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to make this or not. I should be able to. Oh. It would really suck to lose this fight. Okay, Sabin will come back. Now hit Strago, so he will automatically revive. Or not. Well, there we go. Strago's the only one alive. And he survived by 1 hit. Nifty. And Gigantuar doesn't give you much. 11 Jill. But we did get 1,000 needles, a lore for Strago, and we get the magicite. And so that is unique in the sense that it allows you to actually increase your speed at level up by +2. Which is somewhat useful, and its in-battle attack is 1,000 needles on all enemies, and there's a 10% chance it'll use 10,000 needles, which does all 9s for an attack. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is revive my characters, and I'm going to do some prep, and I'm going to meet you near the final dungeon. Once I'm done with all that, we will continue onward. Alright, so I have gotten all my characters prepared, and we are ready for the assault on Kefka's tower. Are you ready, viewers? This has been a long time coming. 7 months of gameplay has led to this moment. And over 20 hours of gameplay as well. Celeste seems a little hesitant for some reason. Yeah, so... What are you thinking, Celeste? Magic might disappear, huh? Well, that's not really a big deal, I don't think. We can survive without magic. Oh, yeah, Terra is half Esper. So what would that mean for her? I don't know, viewers. I guess we'll find out. So we do have to split our party into 3 groups here for the final dungeon. So we're going to be doing a lot of mixing and matching of our characters. And now each of the groups is going to be taking on different boss battles and the like. So you want to have somewhat of an equal mix across the board. Now the exception, of course, is Mog's party because he will have the Moogle charm on. So we don't have to worry about random encounters with him, but the other 2 parties I am going to have to actually do random encounters, so that is something I'm going to have to edit out and deal with as we prepare for the final assault here. But this is a nice little mix of physical damage and magic. And I like to have Mog in the first group because that one doesn't have to take on as many of the bosses. Look at this area. You can tell it was kind of pieced together from all over the world. Just kind of refuse was pulled together to form it. So pretty standard, you're using your select button to switch between your parties, and now if you want to micromanage completely you can, so you can use the same equipment and just de-equip everybody and then re-equip the new party you're using. But I don't like to do a ton of that. I really only do that with my relics and my espers. Otherwise my equipment pretty much stays on the different characters I have it on. And there's various treasure chests, a Hypno Crown, that's good for Realm. It lets her use her control ability a little bit more effectively with her fake mustache. And this is basically just one big maze. Now this is a dangerous area. There are some tough enemies in here normally. Protecting these fixed dice for Setzer, which is essentially his best weapon in the game. It randomly generates attack power and it has a really high percentage chance of doing really good damage that I think actually gets through defense. So that's pretty cool. And I'm not sure if there's anything up. Let me check. Nope. I was right the first time. Let's just head down. But there are various points in this dungeon where you're going to have to hit switches and stuff to let parties advance, and we've already reached one with the first group. So let's prep my second group. Alright, so I did a relics and espers on my second group, and we're going to continue onward. Because we hit a dead end with group number 1. And hey, look at this! Random battle. We got some dragons, or some dinosaurs to take on. They're called dragons, but they look more like dinosaurs to me. So my attack pattern's gonna be pretty standard. Whatever my strongest attacks are. Bum Rush, expect to see that quite a bit. With Edgar, I'm gonna use Flash, and then physical attacks with Locke and Strago. And this party's actually almost my final party. The only difference is I'll be swapping out Locke for Celeste when we take on the final boss. Alright. So I will be showing any unique random battles with enemies. But otherwise, if it's just a redo, then basically I'm going to cut it out. And we want to go north, because I think there's an item in here. Not that it's really that useful. I think it's just a throw item for Shadow. Alright. And down here we have our first boss battle. After another random encounter. Yojimbo. Well, that sounds familiar, doesn't it, Final Fantasy vets? I don't think he's a Guardian Force this time, though. No, wait. Not Guardian Force. I got Final Fantasy VIII on the brain. Are they Aeons in Final Fantasy X? I don't even remember. It all kind of runs together after all these years. Anyway, he's not going to live up to Phantom Rush, I bet. Ugh. Well, that was kind of mean. Oh well. So up here we have the boss of this area, and it is basically a swap of Ultima weapon from earlier in the game, or Atma weapon, depending on your version of the game. Except a little bit stronger. And now, since he is kind of a palette swap of Atma, he does have a Quake ability, so I'm going to make sure I cast Float on all my characters. But other than that, I do have Strago, so I'll be able to cast, you know, his super defense ability. Mega Defend, or whatever the heck it's called. And we should be able to take him out fairly easily. Long, long have I pondered. Now watch the little gears in his back start up. That's kind of weird. And don't worry, buddy, we'll take you out before you can use your special attack. Mighty Guard, that's what it's called. I like Mega Defend. Well, there we go. Now we're pretty much safe from you. And you should know the pattern by now, viewers. Phantom Rush and Ultima. And I'm not sure if he has anything cool to steal, but I will give it a shot with Locke and see if we can get anything. And your elemental attacks are not going to scare me, buddy. I am way too powerful for you. Gotta love that Grand Train, or Delta Attack, or whatever it's called in this game. It's so cool. It's not quite up to Magnus's Dark Magic attack, or Dark Matter attack, but it's still pretty cool looking. So, I don't think this guy's gonna last much longer. Oh yeah, use your Quake attack. It means nothing to me. And I keep accidentally picking tools for some reason. Yeah, Edgar's tools kind of lose their usefulness around the halfway point of the game. For the first part they were great, but now they only do about 1,000 to 2,000 damage, so not very useful. And down he goes. So long. Join your brother or palette swapped self in the afterlife. And what do we get? Wow, 8 magic AP. Awesome. But bigger, we get a save point. So that is much more important. So we're going to heal, use a tent, I'm going to save, and then in my next episode, we will continue onward with Kefka's Tower. So as always, viewers, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.